What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back, everyone. We are back with the original Max Coverage podcast, and it is my honor to bring back our CEO, our fearless leader, the founder of Max Coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Max.
Hey,
Max, how
man.
was your baseball adventure, man?
It's been a roller coaster. It's been crazy, bro. Ups and downs. The Yankees been losing lately, but man, it's been fun, and I cannot wait to be back with you, my boy. NFL's right here. We start tomorrow. First game, Hall of Fame game tomorrow, baby. And it's time to start buckling down and getting back to the nitty gritty.
That's right. It
You
is,
know
my
it.
friend. And I did most of my rankings without you, but I had to save the big one for you, man. The top 32 QBs. All right. We had to pause this for an extra week. So let's just get right to it, man. I know everybody wants to see it. Okay. We are going to start from 32 to 1, people.
Buckle down, vet.
So let's go ahead and drop the first set here. We got 32 through 28. Max's list on the right, my list on the left. Max, what ours is actually not pretty similar on the back end. You want to give us some explanations on your picks here?
Yeah, so I see we have one thing about us guys, we haven't really shared our list too much. Well, I haven't even seen your list, but um there's a couple guys that are missing that could be a starter. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Darnold didn't make my cut. Um who else? Drew Lock didn't make my cut. I see Gino made your cut,
Gino did
but
make my cut.
yeah, he did. It looks like he did. And I might be a little unfair about the Marcus Mariota number 32. I know that's that's kind of like a little low, but I see him. He's at 30 on yours. But I went with Mariota just because, guys, we don't know how he's going to do. He hasn't started a game in the NFL in about, 2 years now, 2 seasons. So I'm going off of the unknown here. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really want to put Daniel Jones right above him, because you know how I feel about Daniel Jones, and I'm sure everybody in the chat, Ivani, Tommy, Eric, and Chris, all them guys, you know how I feel about Daniel Jones. I don't like the guy, so I have him slightly above Marcus Mariota just because we've seen him on the field as a starter for at least a couple times, but Zach Wilson. Now, he might have. I see he's not right here on your list. So I'm going to wait a little bit because I see right here he's not on your list. And I have
Zach
him.
Wilson.
Zach Will. Oh, yeah, I see him number 31. Okay,
He's
never mind.
31 right there. And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I was tempted to drop him out of the 32. Look, you touched on the unknown for a second, which is
Yeah.
interesting to me because the unknown for me is what kept a lot of people from not getting bumped into the top 32. Like Tyler Huntley is an example because I really wanted to leave Zach Wilson out. I actually left Daniel Jones out of my top 32 altogether. Okay. Because I do not think that guy is a starting quarterback at all in this league. So I left him off the list altogether. And you talked about the unknown with Marcus Mariota. I actually kind of feel like there's a little bit more that we have seen from Marcus Mariota because he hasn't played in the last 2 years, but we've got a pretty good body of work from Marcus with his time with the Titans, and he's a guy that you can win with Marcus Mariota. I mean, we've seen him do it, and you got to give him a big props for his legs, man. That's like the strength of Marcus Mariota is his ability to move, honestly, and
Yeah.
that's what breaks people open for him is when he starts rolling around. But to me, I only left Marcus Mariota behind Justin Fields and Davis Mills because they're younger and because they don't have as big a body of work. So I just feel like their ability to rise will be easier than Marcus Mariota's because we've seen what we've seen from Marcus Mariota at this point.
Yeah, and everyone, there's a couple people out there in the YouTube world and the Twitter world and all that stuff. They're like, people are a little too harsh on Daniel Jones. He hasn't had the weapons surrounding him. He hasn't had the O-line protecting him and all that good stuff. No, I don't want to hear that crap about Daniel Jones. Okay, it's an eye test, Keifer. It's an eye test. We've seen how bad this guy plays football. And we both weren't big on Daniel Jones coming out of college, out of Duke. I mean, I'm done watching him and giving him a pass every single season, it seems like.
And
You know
and
what I'm
I don't
saying?
even think he's worthy of a pass to me, because I feel like people are trying to give him the Sam Darnold treatment. But like, dude, when you're part of the losing, like Daniel Jones, the Giants are not holding Daniel Jones back. Daniel Jones is contributing to holding the Giants back. I mean, you look at a receiver
Yeah.
like Galladay. Galladay comes over there. He doesn't score a freaking touchdown last year, dude. I mean, is that really Galladay's fault? Are we really going to be like Galladay is the reason he didn't have the production? No, it was Daniel Jones. It was 100% Daniel Jones.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Nate? What's going on, brother? But I got him there. Let's touch on number 29 because we both hit on this. Justin Fields right there on 29. I mean, I think the potential is there. I think he is, he might be destined for a bounce back career or season, I should say, with new play caller there, new head coaching, new front office. But look at the weapons surrounding him right now as we speak. I mean, they just got in Kale Harry from the Patriots. That doesn't help at all. They
And
still have
he's
Darnell.
slotted as a starter, by the way. Day
Yeah.
one after the trade, slotted as a starter.
They still have Darnell Mooney. I like Darnell Mooney actually. Like he's okay. He's better than nothing. Cole Kmet's still there, a big guy that gets targets. But listen, I think Justin Fields is just in a bad situation. Not saying he's bad, but I just can't give him the nod over Davis Mills after what we just saw Davis Mills kind of do last season. I mean, we both saw him come on to the scene and we both were like, dude, this guy sucks. But he did turn it around quite well, in his second half of the season. He kept the Texans, a little bit competitive near the end.
Yeah, for me, that's the reason that I have Mills over Justin Fields is just like you said, Justin Fields has a terrible setup around him. All right. You think about his first year, okay? He had a terrible coaching staff coaching him up. I mean, this is the type of situation where it's like these guys can be ruined by what's around them. And that's the only thing that I see with Justin Fields, because I do think he was super talented coming out of college. But with Mills, it's the improvement. Like where he was the first game he started for the Texans versus where he was the last game he started for the Texans, the improvement is just phenomenal. So that's where I have to put him ahead of Justin Fields. And I just feel like I'm more of a believer in the Texans organization and Nick Caserio, because he's went and made and got talent around Justin Mills or Davis Mills. And he's kind of just starting the process, but I can see it. I can see it evolving. So obviously the John Mechie thing hurts because they won't have him this year. But regardless, I mean, Cooks is better than Mooney at this point in his career. Mooney is really good. Honestly, the Bears kind of hold Mooney back. But at this point, I would say Cooks is more reliable, and just what they've done to try to improve the roster, I feel more positive on the Texans than I do on the Bears as far as just the front office and everything. Do you have anything else for this one before we drop the next set?
No, it looks like we were pretty, we were on the same page a little bit.
Our middle differs more than anything, just to spoil our end and beginnings are similar.
I just want to shout out some people right here in the chat. What's up, Chris? First talk show we watched from Max, and all right, appreciate that, my boy. We got Nate in the building. What's up, Xavier? What's going on, guys? Hey, as we go through our list, guys, let us know how y'all feel about what we selected. We want you guys to get into this conversation as well. But let's head to the next round of picks, Keifer. All right, so
there we go.
We're still on the same page with number 27 with Mitch, or Clutch Mitch.
Yeah, it pains me to even put Mitch on this list, but listen, if you didn't hear, he had some harsh comments for the Bears. Okay, and the reason that I had to put him where I did is honestly just because of how many times this dude made the playoffs. Like, he's missed the playoffs one time as a starter, which is kind of insane to think about. And we all know he didn't carry this team, any of those Bears teams, but with a good defense, I mean, we've seen him do it. So him and Golf, like, they're like that same tier to me. It's like we've seen what they can do. They can do okay if they have everything around them, but without everything around them, they're probably not going to be good. So, that's why I got those two right there at 26 and 27. Carson's another one that's like right there with them. Carson, you kind of put over him because honestly, his stat sheet always looks good. Like, Carson never looks terrible in the stat sheet. that he just doesn't pass the eye test for you, which is so annoying with him. And he does like dumb shit, like run himself into 2 defenders instead of sliding and things like that. But yeah, I just honestly, this whole 23 through 27 is kind of a tier to me.
Yeah. And Ivani's already disagreeing with where I have Trevor Lawrence. And listen,
I strongly disagree with it too, actually.
Now,
Thank you for bringing it up, Ivani.
Let me explain why. Okay, I do think by the end of this season, this will be the biggest jump for me for next year's quarterback list. Now, this is based off what we saw last season. I know we kind of give Lawrence a pass. Well, I do, that is, because about how bad of a situation this guy was put in with Urban Meyer there in Jacksonville. The coaching wasn't good. I mean, the weapons weren't really that good around him either. And ETN was out. So I understand where, what Trevor Lawrence had to deal with last season, but I can't put him above who's in front of him right there. I mean, we got Goff, Baker, and Jimmy G. I know they're not like super incredible quarterbacks, but Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Baker, I mean, we've seen Baker do it a couple years now. He doesn't wow me at all, but he is serviceable. I'm not on the Baker sucks bandwagon. I'm not on that train. I do think he has a fresh start in Carolina, and I do think he should be the starter for that team with a lot of good weapons. And if McCaffrey can stay healthy, dude, he might have a good season and a bounce back season as well. And Jimmy G, I mean, like the same thing with Goff. He's been to a Super Bowl. I know the surrounding cast did carry those guys there. I'm not going to, discredit that. Like the defense for both teams when they did make the Super Bowl, they were, getting carried by them. But I'm just going off of like, we've seen these guys play longer than Trevor Lawrence. I do say, mark my words, I think Trevor Lawrence is in line for a great season, and he should sniff my top 20 list by the end of next season. That's where I stand about the Trevor Lawrence thing.
So for me, I kind of made this list based on what I'm thinking they're going to do this year. So that's why I have Trevor significantly higher than 26.
I see he's not even over there yet.
Yeah, well, we haven't got to Trevor just yet.
I want to ask you about this because the Baker and Jimmy G. Let me explain, those two to me.
Yeah, so this kind of really came down to like age and potential. I just see Baker's ceiling as higher than Jimmy G's because Jimmy G, man, I mean, if you're like, for example, let's look at, it was either the Chargers or the Chiefs last year with Baker. I mean, they were able to put up like 40 points on offense. So there are times where Baker can put up mad points against good teams. I feel like I never see that with Jimmy G. With Jimmy G, I never see him carry the team as far as putting or have their offense carry the team. It's always, if it is the offense, it's just the running backs. And with Baker, yeah, he has the good running backs and everything. I just feel like his ceiling's a little bit higher. His season 2 years ago, I believe, is better than any statistical season Jimmy's ever had. So I just gave him a slight notch over Jimmy. It's not by a ton. I just think when you look at his age, where he was taken in the draft, I just think his ceiling and his potential is significantly higher than Jimmy's.
Okay, so we got someone's calling me dumb over here.
Throw it up.
Gudula says you're smart and I'm looking dumb. He's talking about my excuses for Lawrence is the same thing that Daniel Jones had last year. Listen, no, because we've seen really Daniel Jones year after year after year after year. Okay, like Daniel Jones has been in the league for how long now? I think like 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, come on, dude. Like we've seen Daniel Jones play bad football for 4 straight seasons. I mean, I'm done with giving Daniel Jones passes, okay?
Also, I think that people sometimes like don't give enough credit to what the coaching situation was over in here in Jacksonville. I mean, honestly, no situation could be as bad as it was in Jacksonville because we literally weren't talking about football for like half the time. I mean, half the time we're talking about where's Urban Meyer? Like, what is this coaching staff doing right now? I mean, we had Urban Meyer looking at his assistant coaches when he wanted to throw a challenge flag. We had 12 men on the field penalties in a row.
That was
guys.
So bad.
Like, how do you do that? You just got the penalty. You don't pull anybody off. What are we doing? So, I mean, nothing could be as bad as it was in Jacksonville. There will literally be a documentary about the Urban Miller experiment and how terrible that went. Yes, I know I'm saying Urban Miller. Urban Meyer never made it to Jacksonville. We didn't get a national championship winning head coach
for real.
Here. It has 3 head coaches and 4 coordinators. Did he have 3 head coaches? Didn't he have what's his name for like last 2 years?
He had McAdoo, Joe Judge, and who else is the other guy?
Dabble's the new guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. 3. Okay, so I was thinking it was saying 3 in 3 years. I mean, there's some points to that, but I just feel like with Daniel Jones, bro, I mean, the turnovers are just insane. I understand Trevor had a lot of turnovers this year, but if you look at his turnovers, like at least 4 or 5 of them weren't even his fault. So like Daniel Jones, the losing the fumbles, it's just outrageous how much that dude loses fumbles.
Oh, there you go. Pat Shurmur. Thank you. Yeah, that was the other coach.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I will remember this play though. The draw play on 3rd and 9 from the 6 yard.
All right. I mean, touche. Touche.
I mean, I just go off, hey, listen, I just go off more years than Trevor Lawrence. Like if Daniel Jones was a rookie, then maybe we can kind of put them on the same pedestal. But I've seen Daniel Jones trip over air. Literally going for a touchdown.
Trevor, man,
come on.
I just feel like a lot of his turnovers were not his fault. Like, I mean, there's another one with Tavon Austin where he runs the wrong route and it ends up being an interception. There was just so much to Trevor's season, man.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, Chris, Trevor Lawrence has it. Daniel Jones, it's dog poop. All right, man. Well, let's go to number 22. Let's head down that little wave right there. All right. So I've had Trey Lance here. It looks like you have Mac Jones, and we have them flopped. So we are kind of similar, Keifer, but we just have a couple flip-flopped.
Yeah,
the reason I put Trey Lance, and you know we had to put Trey Lance over Jimmy G because obviously it's something the coaches in San Francisco see something, so we have to agree with them, or assume to agree with them. But the reason I put him behind Mac Jones is just the unknown, you know what I'm saying? And I know at first when I was making the list, I didn't want to even put him that high, but I do think his talent and his ceiling could get him to that tier right there at number 22 for me. But just from his legs, we've seen a little bit of it in preseason last year. I just, we don't really know too much, but I do think I have to give Mac Jones that little bit of, credit right there because he just won Rookie of the Year.
See, that's interesting because I kind of had similar logic, but like honestly, like kind of opposite. So I put Trey Lance at 21 because that was the highest I felt I could justify putting the unknown. Okay, I understand that. I understand why I'm going to get some hate for Trey Lance at 21, but I just truly believe in this dude's talent. All right. I mean, he does have a cannon arm. Okay. And I just think that Kyle Shanahan is going to make life so freaking easy for Trey Lance. I think there's a 0% chance that Trey Lance isn't better than Jimmy G because Jimmy G did damn near nothing in San Francisco. He basically let everything else around him happen and he just kind of manned the ship. So I just truly believe that Kyle Shanahan is going to make this so stupid easy for Trey Lance that at the very worst, he's going to be able to manage the game and run the ball himself and just do little dink and dunk type of passes. But at best case scenario, I really think that Trey Lance can be that dude. And Mac Jones, I mean, I am not big on Mac Jones, man. I understand the season that he had, but I just feel like his trajectory went downwards towards the end of the season. Like the last 5 weeks of the season, he was slumping. And I understand this dude is in the best shape of his life, but I just truly believe that this Patriots team is not nearly as talented as anybody around them. Maybe more talented than the Jets, only because of the quarterback position. But overall, I just think that they're not going to be able to keep pace, man. And I think that Mac Jones is going to see some struggles. I understand that he is in the best shape of his life. We obviously saw the photo of him. He's been working out every day. We got freaking Bill Belichick giving this man compliments Okay, we've never seen Bill Belichick do that. All right, and that's probably, to me, that's probably because of this type of generation. It's just we need that reassurance over here at RHs. All right, but anyways, besides that, I understand that you guys are going to hate this, but we'll revisit this. Let's say week 4 into the season, and we'll see where Trey Lance is. We'll see if maybe some of y'all's opinions change, because look, I know that it's a stretch to put him at 21, but I just truly believe in the talent. And I made this list off of where I project people to be, and I really project Trey Lance to be a good quarterback. I expect him to lead San Francisco to a playoff berth solely based on, he doesn't even have to be that good of a passer. He can literally just be a good runner, make the right reads. And if he's just rolling out, dude, he's going to make things happen. So I just feel like I feel comfortable putting Trey at 21. Now, and Trevor at 20, honestly, I wanted to stack him up a little bit higher, to be completely honest with you.
You wanted to go higher.
Yeah, dude, I thought about putting him at 16, I think.
16.
But I felt like I had to pump the brake. Dude, I just think he's going to make that jump, man. I mean, look, all right, obviously I'm a Jaguars fan, but all the reports out of camp have been positive, exactly what you want to freaking hear about your quarterback. He had one day where he didn't have a ball hit the ground. So, I mean, he's looking the part right now. We have a real coach and a former quarterback at that. So I just feel like he's in the perfect situation. And I mean, we got a bunch of old farts in this division. All right. We got Matt Ryan and Ryan Tannehill. So,
but you can't put Trevor Lawrence above Matt Ryan, man. You just can't. You can't do that.
I mean, I didn't. I
know you didn't. I know you didn't.
I don't think it's impossible to believe that he could have a better season than Matt Ryan. Look, I have a lot of question marks about Matt Ryan. He's in a perfect situation, so we're going to find out if he's still got game left to him. I don't know if you've read the
drinking the Kool-Aid right there,
but,
bro.
I know I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I know I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on Trevor Lawrence. All right. I feel like this is a solid bet to drink on Trevor Lawrence. I just feel like the Kool-Aid for Trevor Lawrence is a solid bet. All right. And I'm going to roll with it. With Matt Ryan, he's just, when I saw him play in Atlanta last year, man, he just looks out of it. All right. First of all, the reports in Indy, okay, we got some differing reports because the ownership and the coaching have been like, oh, he's great. He's like a general on the field. But then there was some reports the other day from some players and some peers that were like, this guy's kind of a fucking asshole. All right. But hey, sometimes the great ones are an asshole. It's not always a bad thing. But with Matt Ryan, I just feel like I could see his age, man. And a lot of it had to do with the offensive line over there in Atlanta, because they were god awful. This dude could not get a second in the pocket. But there's still some question marks. I know this sounds crazy, but there are question marks even on Indy's line, because one, they weren't great in pass protection last year. They still don't have an answer at left tackle. Okay. So this isn't a perfect situation for Matt Ryan. All right. He has one really good receiver, and I wouldn't even say really good, just very good, I guess. In Pittman, but outside of that, dude, I mean, they didn't land Julio Jones. They don't have a second receiver on this roster, really, that's actually established. Everybody else is just unknowns, like Paris Campbell. I guess you can bet on the kid from Cincinnati. I'm blanking on his name, Alex something, but I just feel like Alec Pierce. Yeah, there we go. But I just feel like the weapons aren't really there. I mean, other than Jonathan Taylor, which that's his best bet, is just to hand it off to him, and he probably will do that. But I just could definitely see Trevor jumping him this year.
I think I don't even have Matt Ryan yet. And to answer your question, he's not even on my top 32. Whereas the Seattle quarterback, Drew Lock or Geno, they're not even in my top 32. But I can't put, so on my list, you see I don't have Matt Ryan yet. I can't put these guys above Matt Ryan yet, man. Tua, Jameis, Carson Wentz, or Ryan Tannehill. I just can't do it. I just can't. I mean, I think Matt Ryan was in a terrible spot last season. I mean, Atlanta was so bad, dude. And we've seen Matt Ryan. I know he's not the best quarterback that we've ever seen, but dude, he's a good quarterback, man. I feel like he's going to make a leap kind of like Stafford, but I don't think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. But I think he's in a great spot now in Indianapolis with enough weapons to get it going for him. And I mean, we've seen him lead the league in passing yards and touchdowns before. He made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, right now I got Tannehill at number 20. I just can't vision Tannehill better than Matt Ryan. I wouldn't put Tannehill above Matt Ryan right now in his career. We just saw Tannehill basically lose the game. No, I would not pick Ryan Tannehill.
That's really interesting.
I know I see your list right there because Tannehill, you must be high on this man. He's not even
I
in your
mean,
top
I'm not.
16.
He's not like
But
I think
I
we'll
know.
see, but yeah, I mean, I definitely have Tannehill over Matt Ryan. No question about it. Listen, I understand what you're saying. I just feel like those days are behind with Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan does not look like one of these super in shape dudes that is just gonna play deep into their 40s. I just don't see that with Matt Ryan. He's creeping up on 40. I think he's like 39.
He's
But
30, 38, 39.
I just don't see it with Matt Ryan, man. I really just don't. I mean, maybe he will prove me wrong. You're right. He's in a way better situation. In Atlanta, it was impossible at that point. Like there was no way he was going to pull out a winning situation with the offensive line where it was at that point. It was terrible for him. And at least here he has a chance with the offensive line. They're really good at run blocking. Obviously, they do have a few questions in the pass. They still do have questions in the pass protection, but it's obviously night and day better. I just don't know that I'm going to put him over these young guys, man. I mean, I just feel like they're younger than him. They're stronger than they. I just feel like they want it more, to be honest.
I'm looking at your list right now, and I'm seeing, damn, you put Carson Wentz way down there at 25. I got him at 19.
I don't like Carson. I do not like Carson Wentz.
But I would even put Carson Wentz over Ryan Tannehill, bro. I don't know. I'm at that point.
What?
Dude, I'm done with Tannehill.
That's nuts.
I mean, you see my list right here. I'm just at that point with Tannehill, bro. Like, you're the reason why the Titans lost. Like,
you know what?
Carson Wentz, though.
Let's just go ahead and drop it, okay? Look.
Well, hold on. No, I wanted to ask you about the Tua and Jameis thing because we haven't flip-flopped.
Okay.
Because Jameis Winston, he's coming off a torn ACL. We don't know. I still think Winston's better than Winston Tannehill and, the guys below him. But I can't put Winston above Tua right now in their careers. I think Tua is in line to have a great, great season. And now there's no more excuses for you, Tua. This is all, you got everything you need. You know what I'm saying? You got a freaking fresh coach there. You got weapons for days. I do think if he stays healthy, now these two are they just need to stay healthy with Jameis and Tua. But I got to put Tua slightly above Jameis right now. So I wonder why you flipped them.
I just think with Jameis, we've seen the talent. With Tua, you see the production. You see what he does on a per game basis. But with Jameis, it's like, I mean, he's had massive passing years. And I think that last year when you look at his game over game production, it actually was kind of inconsistent. His numbers look really good for the amount of games that he plays overall. But as far as game to game, it did differ a lot. But even from last year to this year, dude, their weapons for the Saints are stacked right now. Okay, they're getting Michael Thomas back. He just got back to practice, and then they signed Jarvis Landry as their slot, and they have Chris Olave. I just think that is a way. And then when Kamara gets back from whatever suspension he gets for beating that dude up in the elevator, they have. I'm not going to say they're as good of weapons as Miami because it's not. But I just think with Jameis's experience, I think that he's ready to step up. And I think last year he showed that he can be a smart quarterback. He got the eye surgery, I think like 2 years ago or something, where he couldn't see. Maybe that's what helped him. I don't know. But his turnovers were not high last year when he was in. So I think that was always his problem. And if he can continue on the pace that he's at, I just trust him as far as actual abilities slightly over Tua because he has more experience. So they're a tier to me. Like, I don't know. I'd say 15 to 18, I'd say is like a tier for me.
Yeah, for sure. What about this right here? Tua is 27 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, and Daniel Jones 45 to 30. How is he better than Daniel Jones?
One, he doesn't fumble as much. All right. I mean, I have to pull the stats up because that doesn't even. I guess that's correct. 27.
Well, it's because Tua's been hurt, and dude. Daniel Jones has been in the league longer than Tua. I mean, at least
technically, too, that's still a better touchdown to interception ratio for Tua. 27. That's almost like 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. For Daniel Jones, that's like 1.2 touchdowns for interception.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just off the Daniel Jones train, man. I hope the best for him. I hope he does shut us up. But, I mean, personally, I just can't do it, man. I can't put him anywhere near Tua right now. Let's go to 16. We both have Jalen Hurts there. I know you're a big fan of Jalen Hurts. And, I mean, I feel like we both kind of put them exactly where he should be. But I want to talk to you about number 15 right there, man. You got Ryan Tannehill above Jalen Hurts.
Dude, okay, let me
Come
make my
on,
case for
dude.
this is why I
No.
dropped this early because I was like, let me make my case for Tannehill. All right. Look, you're trashing Tannehill, okay? He had a serious career resurgence when he went over to the Titans, okay? The guy can run, first of all. I didn't even realize he could run until he started playing for the
Yeah.
Titans. You look at last year, okay? Derrick Henry went down, AJ Brown went down. Julio Jones never freaking showed up. At one
For
point,
real,
this
though.
man had to carry the offense, and they still finished as the 1 seed. I understand that in that playoff game, he played awful, okay? He started the game with an interception, closed the game on an interception. Man literally said I had to go to therapy after that shit, okay? But all right, the fact that he acknowledges it makes me like him a little bit more because it's like, damn, he literally knows that he screwed that shit up, okay? And that's experience right there. I think that he can learn from that. And two, dude, even regardless of if he isn't that good in the playoffs, I mean, the way he's consistently gotten the Titans there and then the way he carried that team last year, I just feel like there's no way that I can put Matt Ryan over Ryan Tannehill at this point in his career.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't do it, man. I just can't. I think Jalen Hurts, he's just in that Tua situation. He's gonna be, he has weapons for days. AJ Brown being there. I do think Jalen Hurts does need to show up this season, or he might lose his job. But he beefed up too. He's in the best shape of his life as well. He looks like he can take some hits now. He looks like a little mini Cam Newton from the pictures I saw recently in training camp by him. But I do think Hurts is slightly better than Tannehill right now. And I mean, I might just be in my own little bubble there, but I can't put Tannehill above Hurts. But we both have.
I mean, I
Kirk
would
Cousins.
love to put Hurts higher, honestly. It's just we've talked about it with Hurts. It's not that he can't make the throws, it's that sometimes he makes them late. He will throw a pass when somebody was open and now they are not open. So that's why I stuck him right at 16, because I feel like with the weapons around him, you can pretty much bank that he's going to at the very least be a average quarterback. And then you add in the run factor with him, and he's another one of those dudes, man. I mean, probably like the second best rusher. If we were ranking rushing quarterbacks, I'd probably put him number 2 behind Lamar.
Or behind Murray, rushing wise.
You're right. Actually, yeah. Okay, 3, because I'd put Murray over him. Yeah.
What's up, Julian? What's going on, Frank? What's going on, guys? So I have Kirk Cousins at 15. You have him at 14. I mean, we're kind of the same wavelength there. He doesn't get it done prime time. The bright lights shine the worst.
You know why you can't drop him lower, though? It's so interesting because I was looking at his stats. Dude, like, it's good. Like, his stats are good, man. Like,
yeah, they are.
His touchdown interceptions, like, he puts up a lot of points. And last year, I'm going to be honest with you, because we always clown on Kirk Cousins because he's always that 500 quarterback, right? But last year, dude, I mean, the man did what he could, bro. Like, it was 100% the defense's fault that why they couldn't stay in games, because they were putting up mad points, and maybe he would fall short. There was a few times where he fell short on the last drive, but regardless, I mean, he'd fall short on the last drive after he already put up 30 points, 29 points. And it's like, well, I mean, if these guys could stop them every once in a while, like that'd probably get him a few more wins. So that's why I have him so high on my list, is just because, like, when you look at the whole situation over there, as much as people like to clown on Cousins, as much as I agree that when it comes to prime time and big time moments, he does fall short a lot. Overall, the entire body of work, he does tend to put them in and give them a chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, man. I need to see him win the big games, and I just haven't seen that from Kirk Cousins. If we're talking about big games, look at the guys ahead of him. Matt Ryan's done it for me on my list. I got Matt Ryan at 14. I know he's 19 on yours, but he's won big games. Deshaun Watson, even though he might miss the whole freaking season now, depending on the appeal that's going on right now, he's won big games. Kyla Murray, I guess not. Kyla Murray hasn't really done it, but I just think Kyla Murray is just better than Kirk Cousins. He can just make more plays with his legs, and he can just do it. But I do need to see more out of Kyla Murray, and it looks like you're in the same area with Kyla Murray as well. But I want to get at this. Number 12 for you, Russell Wilson. What the hell?
Russell, bring the muscle, Wilson, man.
Bro,
I love Russell.
I can't do that.
I had to. I
can't do
felt like
that,
I
man.
had to. All right. Look, and I know that this is a little bit more recency bias, okay? And this is just what I think for this year, because honestly, you point out Russell Wilson. I kind of feel like us putting Derek Carr at 11 is very freaking debatable. Like, I'm really projecting with Carr here, okay? Let me tell you, I'm projecting hardcore with Carr, but I just after seeing what he went through last year with that team and the way he was able to lead them, I just had to put him there. This is the most weapons he's had ever in his entire career. Okay, with Devontae Adams and then Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. I mean, they're going to be, and they even have Keelan Cole actually. But they are going to be a sneaky team that could be really, really good this year. And I just think that he could definitely find himself having a career year this year. As far as Wilson at 12, a lot of it does have to do with last year, and a lot of it has to do with I don't necessarily believe in his situation with the Broncos as much as other people do. There's a lot of people that I saw the Broncos were like the third highest power football index to win the Super Bowl. And I just feel like they're projecting too hard with him. A lot of people are expecting these receivers to be way better, except they haven't actually done that yet. We don't have proof that is actually going to happen. I just feel like there's a lot more question marks than meet the eye with Russell Wilson this year for his first year in Denver. So, there was just 11 people I think will have better year than him. It's nothing against Wilson. He could definitely climb this list really fast. He obviously has been a winner his entire career, and he carried the Seahawks at multiple moments. But I just think there's 11 guys that have the potential to carry their team more this year.
I don't know. I can't put Derek Carr in front of Wilson. I know who you have more up there, but I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I understand. This is a projection. This is what I think for this year.
Yeah,
and Derek Carr, I just really feel like Derek Carr is going to blow people's minds this year.
Chris says Russell should be top 8 at minimum. He does have the weapons. He did just lose Tim Patrick. He tore his ACL. So
he's going to be out for the year.
He was one of those guys that's like, he wasn't going to wow you, but he is a great young receiver in this league. So, I mean, that does suck for him. But I think Russ is a top 10 QB until he retires, and that just might be me saying that. But, I mean, obviously, we both got Derek Carr at number 11. You know, he's right there. He's almost top 10. You know, everyone's like saying Derek Carr should be top 10. Derek Carr should be top 10. Not yet. Not yet. He's almost there, but I do have him above Kyler Murray because I do think he's slightly better than Kyler, and just I can see him winning big games when it matters. And right now, I think the Cardinals are just in a bad spot right now, man. I mean, you have DeAndre Hopkins out for this first 6 weeks with a PED suspension. I mean,
Kyler Murray's out right now too with COVID.
Yeah, Kyler Murray has COVID. He's playing Call of Duty probably right now as we speak. But
hey, this is what I will say about Kyler Murray. All right, if all these all the stuff about him not watching film is true, the one thing I think is wow, this guy could probably be really fucking good if he actually does start watching film. So we'll see.
Yeah, Frank. I mean, Frank says Derek Carr has Devontae now. I mean, I get it, man. I get it, but I just, you got to see what we're about to hit. We're about to hit the top 10, Frank, and we'll see if you'll see where we are right now. So let's go. Let's go to top 10. All right, who's the Predator?
Oh, you already know it's Deshaun Watson, baby.
Oh, the Predator.
I had to throw it in there. Look, we'll start at 10 since you asked me, okay? Look, Deshaun Watson, okay? Obviously, what he did was so fucked up, and we'll get to that right after this top 32 rankings. But listen, I can't take away what this man can do on a football field, all right? I've watched it. Max, you know this. Before we drafted Trevor Lawrence, before all that stuff came out about him, and he first said he wanted to trade, dude, I was all in to trade that only just that one overall pick for him, because I've seen this dude make magical plays. He passes the eye test. He has great production. He carried this Texans team, and they just absolutely buried him that last year by destroying this roster on him. But as far as talent, dude, I mean, Deshaun Watson is up there with the best of them in his ability. I saw this man play football with one eye against the Jaguars when we were on that 2017 roster with all those stars. And dude, he just makes magic happen on the field. Okay. So,
but you're going on. You said your list is based on what you think this year. Well, he might not even play this year.
That's true. So. That's true. But prior to I made this list before, like when the
Before the
6 games
news.
came out and before the appeal happened. So we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I wasn't gonna change it. I was like, whatever, it is where it is. I'm just gonna keep him on the list because he is their starting quarterback. So and I understand he had the year off, okay. But I don't think he's gonna miss a beat, man. Honestly.
What's up, Nightings? And we have another question. How many weapons does Russ need from Lockett and DK to Judy and Sutton? I mean, he went from a good situation to a better one because they have a better
You think that's
offensive
better?
lineman. I just think their
They do
offensive
have
lineman
yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
and
For
the
sure.
running back situation, I feel like it's a little bit better. You know what I'm saying, with Williams and Gordon.
Melvin, yeah.
Yeah, but I got Dak at 10. I mean, Dak is one of those guys that, he's at the cusp. Like, oh, is he gonna make the move to get higher in this list? Or I think he's just hovering right there at number, in that little tier 8 through 11 bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have Dak at 8 or 10. You have him at 9. I think, we need to see more out of Dak. And he has good weapons, not that great right now because Gallup's still hurt. He has CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson's gone now. You still have Schultz, and they just drafted, who's the receiver they just drafted?
I forgot his name, but yeah, they do have another.
Tolbert, right?
Yeah, Tolbert, and
Yeah.
they also signed James Washington, but he got hurt.
Yeah, he was already
In
carted
camp.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Zeke and Tony Pollard are still there as well. I mean, it's just like, when are the Cowboys going to actually like shut everybody up and just, maybe win a playoff game or do something?
Hey, to be fair, Dak's won a playoff game.
Yeah, he
all
won
right?
against the Lions. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Was it the Lions?
Yeah,
I feel like
they
wasn't
beat the Lions when Stafford was still there.
Okay.
But
All right.
I agree with you, Keith, right there. Dak can't put up 400 yards a game. I agree.
Yeah,
But
for me, Dak, this is the year he's going to have to make that jump to elite, okay? Because the Cowboys do have less on this roster. And I know that the NFC, it's going to be a breezeway for them into the playoffs, in my opinion. But as far as getting the playoffs and actually knocking some of these teams off, he's going to have to carry them a little harder. And the play's there for Dak. It's always just some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the trying to snap the ball before the ref sets it, trying to run the ball and slide,
yeah,
those type of decisions. He just needs to
IQ.
clean that up. Exactly. The IQ. He just needs to clean that up. Okay. And I think that he can be elite. I really do. Dak has shown that he can put up numbers year after year. And the biggest part to me is when you look at that year where he went down. Okay. The Cowboys were not shit without Dak. Zeke was there, couldn't do anything. So to me, it's like he is clearly the guy you are going to need to carry you, because without him, it doesn't work. And they had Andy Dalton, okay? And Andy Dalton is supposed to be considered one of the better backups. So they should have been a more respectable team than they were, but they weren't, because they can't do it without Dak. So that's why I got him at 9 right there, man, because I just really feel like he does carry this team.
Yeah, I can't put Dak ahead of Russell Wilson right now in their careers. And
I mean, I got a little recency bias going there. I understand that, but I want to see it happen with the Broncos, because I don't necessarily think that that's the perfect situation. With Dak, at least I know that him and his coordinator are comfortable, and it's not going to be that much of a difference. Even if they lost weapons, he understands the system. It's not going to be that much change.
The report is there, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
For Dak, yeah. So we both have Lamar at number 8. I think Lamar could easily make top 5. Just, maybe after this season. This is the contract year for Lamar. This is, you want that money. Right now, you still haven't got it. And I do think you need to get paid, Lamar. So I know you want to be your own lawyer, your own agent, I should say.
They're in negotiations right now.
Yeah, they're in negotiations. But, I do think, Lamar, he can kill it, man. He is a freaking gamer, a baller. And he needs to stay healthy. Because, we saw with the Ravens, they're not anything without Lamar either. Same with Dak. Tyler Huntley did pretty well. Honestly, I would put Tyler Huntley. I should have put him up there in the top 32.
I thought about it. Honestly, he just didn't have enough. He didn't have enough experience for me to justify it. But I really did want to knock Zach Wilson out of this whole thing.
Yeah. But I think number 8 is fair for Lamar right now. He already won an MVP in this league. I mean, I kind of like last year, was a he came into the season kind of at a fault because their whole running back core went down with injuries before the freaking even first game started. So right then and there, people are gonna monitor him a lot more without Dobbins back there, without Gus Edwards back there. You know what I'm saying? So he did lose Marquise Brown. He did lose
Yeah.
Marquise Brown. So I
But
mean,
if he
we'll
gets the
see.
running backs back, that's kind of a fair trade-off, honestly. To have DK and Gus Edwards back, I feel like that's kind of, or sorry, JK and Gus Edwards back. That's kind of a fair trade-off. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough road as far as him passing the ball because Mark Andrews is like the only sure thing. They have Rashad Bateman, their former first-round pick. But I just think that when you look at Lamar Jackson's game, it's like he is going to carry this team because he can do it all on his legs. So, like,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is the Ravens offense. Everything is built around him. He's always going to produce. For me, the thing that holds him back is I just need him to win more games, like more of the big games. And I need him to put up more points in the big games because he's had a playoff win, but the defense carried him. Like, they didn't score a lot of points. So I just need him to just step it up just a little bit in the big moments. And that's what drops him down just below because I wanted to put him. He can easily shoot up. I mean, we've seen his skill set.
Oh yeah.
If he's got his pass game going, I mean, his run game's phenomenal already. So he can easily slide himself all the way up to 1 or 2 this season. But for now, I'm just going to leave him at 8 and see what happens. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Listen, I understand why you have it flipped. But for me, the eye test just says it all with Herbert. Okay, he's just like Kirk Cousins, man. It's not his fault he didn't make the playoffs because this man did everything he possibly could do. Okay, and then the difference between him and Cousins is that in those big moments, Herbert actually does do the shit. All right, I mean, we saw that last game against the Raiders. This dude was like 4 for 4 on 4th downs. Like he was just keeping the drive alive and just made sure that they put it in the end zone. He just didn't get the ball back to actually get them in the playoffs. So
yeah. And you know how I feel about Herbert. Before I took the little hiatus from the show, I had Herbert winning the MVP this season. Like that's my MVP guess. Coming into this season, Justin Herbert. I love the guy. I was completely wrong about Justin Herbert coming out of college. I was completely wrong about him, and I have to put Burrow slightly above him, just because like he just went to a Super Bowl. I mean, come on, dude. Like, the guy is just a winner. Joe Burrow is a proven winner in this league already, and you already know what he did in college. So I had to put Burrow above him, but this is one of those I can see exactly what you're coming from with flip-flopping them. And, by the end of this season coming up, Herbert might sniff the top 4. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I got him at 7, and it's no disrespect to him at all because, we're about to crack the top 5 and you're about to see who's top 5 for us. So, I mean, let's go to it. Let's give the people the top 5 they've been waiting for.
Yeah, let's do it. There's not going to be much debate here. So let's run through this fast because this list is taking forever. Look, what do we have flip to flop here? We both got Aaron Rodgers at 1. Look, I mean, he's a back-to-back MVP. What else can I say? You got anything for that? Because, I mean, it speaks for itself for me.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers back-to-back, baby. I know he lost Devontae Adams, and listen, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. The dude threw like 14 interceptions the past 3 seasons. I mean, come on. The guy is just a flat-out beast. Like, he'll get it done. Just trust me on this. Trust me, guys. Aaron Rodgers will be fine. But you have Josh Allen flipped with Mahomes, and that was a little shock for me.
Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, I'm projecting for this year, man, and Allen has the better resources this year, all right? He's got the better receivers. I would argue he even has the better running backs now that they went and got James Cook. He's got the better defense. Everything points to Josh, for me, that Josh Allen will have a better year than Pat Mahomes. So that's the only reason. I mean, you could really flip-flop them, whatever. I just feel like Josh Allen will probably end up with better stats this year. And I think the Bills have a better chance at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's kind of like a 1A, 1B kind of scenario with all 3 of these guys can be number 1. Rodgers, Mahomes, or Josh Allen. Spence says Rodgers should be number 9. I think you're on crack if you think he's the 9th best quarterback. And like, come on. And then we have another. Matthew Stafford is not better than Justin Herbert. I mean, I think he is. He just won a Super Bowl and he kept the Lions relevant. at least
So
relevant.
here's what I'll say about these lists, okay? I'm glad he said that, actually, because I was thinking about this too, because at first, when I first made this list, I was going to try to do it just based off of like who I think is the best player. But Matt Stafford made me realize that that is almost impossible to do, because think about it, bro. Like let's just say Matt Stafford didn't get traded to Detroit, or didn't get traded from Detroit.
Yeah.
You know how freaking stupid we would look putting Matt Stafford in the top 5? So it's like almost impossible to project like how good somebody would be in a better situation, to the point where I'm not even going to do it. So that's why I did the list like this. Matt Stafford, I mean, Justin Herbert, I would say Matt Stafford's a little better at this point in his career. Like coming off of last year, just statistically and what they were able to accomplish, I feel like he had just slightly a better year. It's not even saying, listen, Justin Herbert definitely will take that throne eventually. It's just a matter of when. So,
exactly. Chris says he agrees with your top 5 wholeheartedly.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
But hey, listen, I mean, I got to put Stafford at number 5. I don't care what anyone has to say right now. The guy just won a Super Bowl, and he showed up too. He showed up each and every single game. He dethroned Brady in that NFC Championship game. Or I'm sorry, was it the
division
championship?
It was
divisional. Yeah. Bro, we saw that game, bro. He came back and won. Like, it wasn't like he came back and did it. He did it, bro.
They did not come back. The Bucks almost came back.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The Bucks almost came back on them, and
they did come back, and then Stafford drove down the field and won it. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, like the Bucks
they did tie it. Yeah.
They had to score really quick. Yeah, I think you're right. At
one
point, LA was blowing them out, dude. Yeah, I remember because I fell asleep watching. I was like, oh, here comes a blowout. I woke up, and then I woke up right before the Bucks started scoring, and I was like, oh my God, they're doing this so fast.
Yeah. They were, and I mean, we don't have to say much about Brady anymore. Number 4, I mean, come on.
Default. I mean, honestly, you could say by default you have to put him at 1. Honestly,
for real though.
Look, the competition in the NFL is so freaking close, guys. So, like, I mean, it's paper thin, man. I mean, you could make arguments for a lot of people being slid a lot of different places. This is just how it fell for us. All right. At the end of the day, you got to make the decision. So that's how it came out. I'm sorry. Do we have any comments that we want to get to before we move off this list?
No,
I see they're piled up over here.
Nightings just kind of explained what happened. The Bucks came back, but Stafford clutched it up, got him in field goal range. Chris says Burrow, he personally thought he should be in top 5, but he understands why Stafford is top 5. But I mean, that's about it, man. I mean, there's our list, guys. I feel like we both had a pretty good list. I don't know about you, but I feel like
it's solid.
We're both credible.
We think pretty similar. So I was kind of hoping we'd have more variance, but I was like, I'm not going to change it just to change it. Like, that's how it came out, and that's how it came out. Because I saw your list. Obviously, you never saw mine. But I did make it after I made your list, but I wasn't like, that's just how it came out for me. So,
and do me a favor, Keifer. We're gonna pose for the camera because I'm gonna screenshot this as when we, get done, and we'll post this on Twitter and all that stuff so people can, comment on it and stuff. So say 3, 2, 1. Say cheese to the camera real quick. 3, 2, 1. All right, there you go. There's a screenshot. We'll post it on social media. Let's get it going. We got some news to talk to you guys about.
We got plenty of news to talk about, guys. I'm sorry that list took so long, but you know how it is, man.
That's the moral.
You got to get to the quarterbacks. Man. Listen, you got to give the quarterbacks their time. All right, let's start with the biggest news that came out. Okay, Deshaun Watson and the Sue Robinson ruling. Sue Robinson rules that Deshaun Watson should be suspended for 6 games. 30 allegations get you 6 games. All right. And we'll get to the report in just a second. But before this ruling actually came out, okay, once it would, because basically we literally got an update that said Sue Robinson's going to make her decision tomorrow. Like, why even tell us? Just tell us tomorrow. Okay. But once that report came out, the NFLPA came out, and they came out hot, baby. They basically call out the NFL here, and I'm not going to read this entire statement, but I just want to read one line because, like, when I read it, I was like, yo, these guys are pushing hard right now, okay? Every player, owner, business partner, and stakeholder deserves to know that our process is a legitimate one and will not be tarnished on the whims of the league office. When I read that, I basically felt like they said these guys are complete idiots and they never hold up on their side of the bargain. Now, what they're referring to is the NFL and the NFLPA agreed on this process. They agreed that they would get a third-party judge to rule on these types of decisions because the NFL has not been doing a good job of it. All right. And the NFL agreed to that. However, there is an appeal process where the NFL or the PA can appeal. The NFLPA said, we're not going to appeal no matter what happens. The NFL didn't say anything. The decision gets dropped, and the NFL took a couple days to think about it, and they said, yeah, I'm sorry. We are definitely 100% going to appeal this. All right. It's not enough games. And listen, I applaud the NFL for appealing this, because I understand they're in a hard position, because like we just agreed to this, but this just is not acceptable right here. Okay. And I feel like if you want to place fault on anybody for this ruling, I feel like you got to go to the source. I mean, this is Sue Robinson's fault. Okay.
Yeah, the judge.
It is. There's no other way around it. Okay. I don't know who hired this person or who explained the job to them. But listen, okay, if you looked at that report, Sue Robinson basically says, yeah, this motherfucker definitely did this shit. And she even throws in there that he's not even remorseful about it. Like, he has shown no remorse about the situation. Now, Sue Robinson also goes on to say that the basis for her ruling is because of the precedent that has been set in the NFL on these types of situations. Okay, let me tell you why this is complete bullshit, all right? Let me just start with the idea that there's precedence to the situation. Nobody in the NFL has been accused of this many freaking women. All right. We've had some incidences where it's like one guy, maybe one or two females. This is 30 females. All right. There's no precedence for that. Okay. And my second point to that is, even if you want to call like Ben Roethlisberger and those types of situations precedent, dude, this is the whole fucking reason we hired you, because we can't do this right. Why are you looking at our mistakes and basing your decision off it? We've already established the NFL cannot do this correctly. And you're going to go ahead and base your decision off of their incorrect decisions? No. That makes no sense. We're starting over. Day one, fresh. You're setting the precedent. You're the person that does that now. We are throwing all of the other shit out the window. That was not working, okay? We got a guy that's suspended for an entire year for gambling. We got another guy that's about to get suspended 6 games for beating somebody up in an elevator. How does Alvin Kamara beat somebody up in an elevator, get the same amount of games as Deshaun Watson, all right? It just doesn't make sense, okay? It doesn't make sense, and we need to get some more consistency with it. I 100% blame Sue Robinson for this. Okay, and I think that Goodell is just trying to do the best he can here, and I think one last thing I want to touch on about the situation is that, so basically we could end up in a Ezekiel Elliott type of situation. Like, the way this appeal goes, it doesn't guarantee it, but if they continually appeal each other, it'll end up in the courts. And we could end up with one of those situations. If you remember when Zeke had his shit going on and he was going back and forth to courts, there'd be 1 week where he'd be reinstated, he could play, then he'd be suspended the next week. So I don't know what's going to happen with this situation, but I'm just letting everybody know, go ahead and hold on to your seats. We are in for a ride. This is not going to end here.
You remember Martavius Bryant? You remember him?
Yep.
He got suspended. Basically, we haven't seen him since. Is he still suspended for just weed? You know what I'm saying? So
no, I don't think so. I think he's just
dude, he got suspended. I mean, Josh Gordon, 25 plus games suspended from just weed. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, and he has took a whole year before because of continuous failed weed tests. But man, we're talking about sexual assault, man. All right, so this isn't nothing to freaking play around with. Like, you give a guy 6 games and you give a guy a fucking year, 25 plus games for smoking weed. Come on. I mean, that's just messed up. And I know why the NFL has done this. They want to appeal it because they're going to lose. They're going to lose a lot of revenue. Okay. They're going to be protesters outside of the Browns stadium. I'm sure women, protesting for this. It's going to be a bad look on the NFL. And the NFL is like, we can't have that. It's all about money, money, money. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just how this business has been for years now. So I think, they just desperately need, and they want a year. They said,
Well, they're
nothing
actually
less.
going for indefinite with
Yeah.
a minimum year. So like
Yes.
like with the indefinite suspensions, basically what happens is they'll put a min on it, like you have to wait at least this long, but they'll also put things that you have to do in it, like whether it's community service hours or whatever it is. They'll include that in there. But yeah, they're hoping for that, and they also are pushing for a fine, which is
10 mil.
really to me, which is really worth noting because how the suspension stands right now, Deshaun Watson loses like $300K because all of his money this year is signing bonus. So he's losing like no money, which is just insane, man.
Yeah. And like Frank said, he agrees, he paid off the women. He denies all allegations, but I mean, it's a mess, bro. And this is going to be a lot to monitor over the course of a couple weeks now, because I mean, Watson said he might sue the NFL if he does get suspended a year. I don't know if you saw that report or not, but
I did.
Yeah, so he's ready to sue him. So if this does go a year, it's going to be bad. And I think we might not ever see Watson play if he does get a year. I think he might just be done, and which he should be, man. He's a piece of crap.
I don't think he'll
doing
be
this.
done because of the investment Cleveland put in him, man. I mean, they're going to do
Yeah,
whatever it
true.
takes to get him on the field. Eventually, they're going to let him on the field. It's just a matter of if, not when. And hopefully we can get at least a full season without him. Should be more, but
I mean, we already did.
That's just the way that goes. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but he was still, I guess you're right, but still, he needs more than that, bro. Because
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous.
For
But
real.
let's move on to some other legal issues that we got going on.
Ooh.
The Dolphins, they lost their 2023 first round pick and a 2024 third round pick for blatant tampering. Okay.
Yep.
2 counts of it, basically. Actually, really 3. Twice with Tom Brady. Okay. One when he was with the Patriots in 2019, about to become a free agent. They were reaching out, trying to speak with him without the team's permission, and before the free agency period had started. That obviously did not work out. They tried it again this offseason. They tried to reach out to Tom Brady again and did not get anybody's permission to do so. Same with Sean Payton. They reached out and tried to get Sean Payton to agree to come coach their team before he had retired from the Saints. So the Dolphins get charged with the 2023 first round pick and a 2024 third round pick. Max, what is your reaction to the punishment and what Stephen Ross did here?
And Stephen Ross got suspended until October 17th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just didn't care about that part because it's an owner. Like,
and
to me, a suspension means nothing for an owner.
Yeah, for real. Like he owns the
whatever.
damn team. You know what I'm saying? And also, did they got fined as well, right? I don't know the money.
Yeah, I think they did get fined some money, but that's another thing I don't care about because I'm these billionaire owners, this does nothing to them. It's like, okay, whatever.
It's like $10. But I think it's a lot. I mean, 20, that's a first round pick, third round pick. I mean, those are pretty high picks. I mean, the fact that they stole a first round pick is, huge, man. Huge. Like, what if they go down, Tua goes down, or someone big goes down? Their whole season is freaking a waste. You know what I'm saying? And now they don't have a draft pick to kind of like be happy about, at least.
It's worth noting they still do have 1 first round draft pick. It's just not theirs because they had 2. They had 2. So now they only have 1.
Who do you know what team they have?
I believe it's the 49ers.
The Niners, okay. And I mean, it kind of just shows Brian Flores was correct. I mean, the whole thing. I know they didn't get in trouble for the tanking situation that he came out and said about, but I mean, he's pissed about that too. He said that they should have went more in depth with that. But I mean, it just shows you how this organization was running while Brian Flores was there, and it kind of just highlighted how he was telling the truth. I think Flores isn't lying about anything, man. And this is what happens in the NFL. People do this, but they don't get caught for it. And I think that the Dolphins, they kind of got punched in the mouth for this. Spence said if they get Brady next year, it'll be all worth it. But I don't know, man. I agree with the punishment. They should make a stand like, yo, you can't do that, bro. And even Bill Belichick, they asked him today in training camp, and he was just like, my focus is on training camp right now. I don't really care, honestly.
First of all, Bill Belichick can't say shit. All right, Bill Belichick breaks the rules every time he finds a way to do
exactly.
it. But listen, honestly, when I read this, first of all, if I was a Dolphins fan, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I actually would not be mad at my team at all. Okay. What I'm
Really?
reading, I wouldn't, because what I would be reading is my owner is really swinging for fucking home runs here. My owner really wants to freaking win, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, it's better that than like he's not trying at all. So I'm definitely not going to be that upset about it. And just like Spence said, I think that this is a true possibility that could happen next year. Look, Brady is set to be a free agent. Okay. If you could get Brady on board, it'd probably be super easy to get Sean Payton on board, somebody who has already talked about wanting to come back to coaching at some point.
Yeah.
So obviously he'll be the favorite for the Dallas job, but I listen, and they still do have one first round. Obviously it kills you that you lost one first round pick, but honestly, man, like I would be, if I was Dolphins, I'd probably be more mad at Brian Flores, bro, because we never would have got caught if he didn't snitch.
Yeah, he like outed him out. Yeah, he outed him to everybody.
Dude, they never would have found out if it wasn't for Brian Flores snitching. And I'm not saying what happened with the Brian Flores situation was right. Obviously, I'm a huge Brian Flores person. I think that they should have kept him as a coach. But I just look at the moves that they've made, and they've made themselves very offensive, and that's what they needed. So I'm not gonna just like knock Stephen Ross, because I don't think he fired Brian Flores because he was black. I really just feel like he wanted an offensive coach, and he wanted to put this fire skill power players together. And I just think that it just didn't work out for him. Obviously, He took a huge L right there, but hey, he's still got skin in the game. Okay. Brady knows he's interested. It's clear Brady is interested in ownership in this Miami Dolphins team, which he's willing to throw out there. So if they do end up getting Brady next year and they get, I'm not even going to say Sean Payton, because I think that Mike, regardless, will keep his job. And before we move on, though, so the Tua situation, all right. First of all, how do you feel if you're Tua? Okay, and Max, let me ask you this: do you think that's what would Tua need to do for Stephen Ross to not be interested in this idea next year?
I mean, I don't even know what Brady would be. You remember he just signed a $350 million contract to go be on TV
to Fox after he's done playing football.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about an opportunity to own an NFL team, man. I mean, it's basically blatantly clear that that's what Brady wanted to do this season. In my opinion, that's what he wanted to do this season. That's probably what happened with the retirement. I mean, it's hard to pass up an ownership opportunity if you're a player. Yeah, in my opinion.
Well, going back to Tua, man, I just feel like he's just always in a bad spot, dude. Like, I'll be like, yo, what do I need to do around here, man? Can I get any kind of support? My Lord. I mean, we know the play on the field hasn't, translated that well so far in his career, but dude, you're putting this guy in a bad spot every single season. It seems like, this upcoming season coming in, like I'm thinking, Tua is going to be ready. He's confident, and then this comes out, and it's like, damn, like y'all were whispering about getting another guy to replace me, a year after I was in this freaking league, a year after you guys drafted me, and you guys are just sneaking around the league trying to replace me already? Like, come on, bro. And the same owner has been there, same GM has been there. So it's like the same guys have done that are still there. And you got to suit up, you got to go to work, and you got to face these guys knowing that they did this behind your back, bro. And now it's out to everybody. I just feel like it's unfair for him. I feel bad for him, man. But he just needs to go out there and show it on the field and be like, yo, screw you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like Tua should be offended. I just don't. Like, bro, we're talking about the GOAT here, okay?
I know.
We're talking about the freaking GOAT. First of all, it could have 100% been in the plan to keep Tua. I will say that with Brady coming to the team, if you give him ownership in the team, I think that one, he's not going to cost you that much on your salary cap, because you're like, dude, I literally gave you 5% to own this entire team. So I don't think that his numbers will be that high. I see a scenario where they could keep both. I mean, Brady's got only a few more years left, bro. So I could definitely see a scenario. Like, I just don't see, like, okay, the Watson thing. Yeah, I can see how that would be like annoying and like offensive to Tua's point of view. Like, you were trying to ditch me for this guy that has like 30 rape allegations. But with Brady, it's like, dude, we're talking about the GOAT here. So it's like, you can't really take that personal, because to me, that's clearly business.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks about the, the time frame about it, like
right.
a year after he was drafted. So like, obviously that just shows, I know it's Tom Brady. I get that, but it just shows you that they didn't trust you from the start. And it's been 3 years and they felt like that for, this long now. I just feel like it sucks. It sucks for him. That it's just not fair. But I
I
get
mean, so to be
why.
fair,
It's Brady.
the first time in 2019, that would have been before they drafted Tua.
Was it before? I thought so. Oh,
Because
okay, so
Tua going into year 3. So he played 2 seasons. It would have been after the 2019, but the second time would have been this year. So they definitely still did it with him there. You know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't. It didn't happen that first time. That wasn't after the first year.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just feel like he's always in a bad situation, no matter what. I mean, Fitzmagic coming in there, playing better than him, didn't get a shot to even start for a while. And then, the whispers about Watson and all that stuff. It's like one thing after another with Tua, man. I just hope he just goes out there, laces them up, and just shuts everybody up, and just does well.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's got the weapons to do it for sure.
Yeah.
But that definitely hurts regardless. First of all, the one thing is if Tua doesn't end up being your quarterback and you don't land Tom Brady, with you giving up that first round draft pick in this loaded quarterback class, you're not going to have the ammo to go up and get one. So it's all on Tua now. And even if that wasn't the plan, even if Tua did work out, I mean, still to lose a first round pick, that sucks. But like I said, if I was a Dolphins fan, I would still feel like, you know what, Stephen Ross he's shooting his shot, so I'm going to forgive him for this one. All right, let's get to some other things. Okay. The Cowboys, when they enter training camp, all right, the first question they asked Mike McCarthy, hey, Mike, do you have any job security this year? Do you feel like you're going to lose your job to Sean Payton? Piss Mike off, all right? Mike is obviously mad for obvious reasons, okay? But look, the rumors have been rolling out since Sean Payton decided to leave the Saints. So, listen, is this news or noise, man? Will Mike McCarthy be fired this year for Sean Payton?
Before I answer that question, I feel like that would be you as a reporter. Just like just start him off the first question. Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot, just piss him off or something like that. I could definitely see you doing something like that. But I think it's news, man. I do think it's news. I feel like, bro, if I'm Jerry Jones, you're desperate at this point. You are desperate to win a championship. It's been how long? I mean, we were, 2 years old? Last time they won a Super Bowl, even sniffed a Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is definitely news, bro. I mean, they do have the roster to make a run every year. They seem like they have the roster to do it. But like Stephen A. Smith, what should go wrong will go wrong with the Cowboys. And I just feel like it's always at the top, it's always the coach that gets it. So he's been there for a couple seasons now. They didn't really do anything. I mean, they did some good stuff in the regular season. Okay, that's all cute and dandy, but you know how the Cowboys operate. They want to, show them in the playoffs. They need to do it in the playoffs, man. And Mike McCarthy hasn't done it yet. And I feel like his string is short. I feel like Jerry Jones is done. He needs to start winning now. And if a guy like Sean Payton's available and already came out and said that, he would be interested in going to Dallas, I mean, my God, dude. I think that's a huge upgrade from Mike McCarthy to Sean Payton. So I do think I think it's news for sure.
So, all right. So then what would Mike McCarthy have to do this year to keep his job? What is the minimum?
Reach the Super Bowl.
Wow, damn, boy. Yeah. You put that bar way high.
Because
holy shit.
I mean, if they listen, bro. Look at the past with Jerry Jones. He's fired Jimmy Johnson in the past for being, bro, we know how good Jimmy Johnson was. You know what I'm saying? Won Super Bowls and stuff. But Jerry Jones, at this point in his career, Jerry Jones, give a couple more years for Jerry, man. He's going to step down soon, it seems like. He's getting old, man. And he's
been getting old.
He's old, dude. Old. So I feel like he needs a Super Bowl appearance or he's done.
Okay. All right.
I
agree with you. I think it's news. I'm not going to put that high. I feel like I'm going to drop it one down. I feel like they need to make it to the NFC Championship game. And I feel like Mike McCarthy could keep his job. But I do think they 100% need to get in the playoffs and at least win a game, which in theory, I'm pretty sure I just project them being I guess they'll probably play 2 games. I'm tripping. Okay. I'm going to say that if they win one playoff game, he's got a chance to keep his job. I'm not even going to say NFC Championship. At first, I was thinking they'd automatically be division, but no, that's not really a lock. So one playoff game, I think he's got a chance to keep it. But I agree with you. I think that it's definitely noise that with Sean Payton right there, because everybody knows how great of a coach he is.
News?
Yeah, news, 100%
okay.
news. Yeah. And then one other thing for news or noise today. All right. The Steelers offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, came out recently. And obviously they have the open quarterback competition going on right now. But he says that Mason Rudolph actually does have a great chance to win this starting job. Max, is this news or is this noise?
That's noise. That's like your annoying neighbor upstairs noise. That's just like, bro, come on, dude. Don't fool anybody. Don't fool anybody. You just drafted Kenny Pickett. You just signed Mitch Trubisky to be there. We know, dude, we've seen Mason Rudolph try to do it. He can't. He's not good at all. I think this is just him showing a little bit of support for his his lonely quarterback, because I feel like if I'm Mason Rudolph, man, your days are numbered. You might make the team. Honestly, you might make the team. You might not even be on this roster. I mean, they might keep 3 quarterbacks, but there's no way in hell Mason Rudolph's going to be a starter in this league unless there's like a lot of injuries over there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, man. I mean, this guy has gotten many opportunities for you to see if he could be the guy. There's no way that all of a sudden right now it just clicked. There's no way. We've seen it too many times. This is absolute nonsense. You're right. They're just backing their guy and making it seem like everybody has a chance when really it's a 2-man race. That's it for our news or noise segment this week. Let's get to some NFL signings. Just a few things to touch on. All right. Chris Boswell, the Steelers kicker, signed a 4-year, $20 million contract. That's pretty big for a kicker, man. That's pretty big.
It's tied with Tucker for the highest kicker in the league right now.
I know. And
I'm like, damn.
I don't know. I don't really watch Boswell like that. I guess he's fucking sweet. I don't know.
They
do have bad weather in Pittsburgh, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? It's harder in a place Baltimore's the same way though. Baltimore's real windy.
Yeah, I don't think he's the second best kicker in this league though. That's
you know what I'm saying? Not. Yeah, absolutely.
But good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, way to get your money. And then we got DJ Humphries, the Cardinals left tackle. He signed a 3-year extension, $66.8 million, $34 million guaranteed. I don't really have any thoughts on this one. He's an all right player,
honestly.
Middle of the pack type style of player. So I guess it's fair. Left tackles get paid a lot of money these days. Just today, though, the Cowboys did sign Anthony Barr. The numbers haven't come out yet.
Yeah, they did. That's a 1 year, $3 million. 1 year, $3 million.
Perfect. That's a real team friendly deal right there. That's some good depth. And then who hasn't signed yet? We got Deontay Johnson and the Steelers, but they are negotiating and they're saying that they're very close on a contract and it could come any day now. And then let's get to the man of the hour, though. Debo Samuel. All right. Debo gets paid. And let's take a look at what his contract was compared to his peers. Okay. Obviously, the 4 guys that come straight out of the draft class with him. But Debo Samuel gets a 3-year, $71.5 million deal worth up to $73.5 million with his running back incentives. Okay. And then $58.1 million of that guaranteed. Look, the only reason I wanted to throw this up here is just because these guys basically got the exact same contract. I mean, all of them are between 22 to 25 mil a year. AJ Brown actually gets the highest one, which puts him at 25 million a year. Everybody else just slightly. And then I think DK is next, right under him, and then Debo, and then Terry McLaurin. How do you think that ended up? Do you think there was anybody obviously they're all right next to each other number wise, but as far as who should be 1 and who should be 1 through 4, do you think they got it right, the NFL?
Well, first of all, I want to shout out to their agent because I feel like they're all under the same agent, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to the agent getting all this done. And I will say one thing that kind of points out to me, one of these guys got traded. The other ones didn't. So AJ Brown was the one who got traded out of the 3. The rest signed their extensions with their teams. So AJ Brown took to Twitter and said a little something about that. He wasn't quite happy about that. But I do think, honestly, personally, for me, I think Debo should be the highest paid out of the 4. But it's not a big leap I just because Debo does more for his team, and also he has incentives for rushing as well. Debo does
Yeah,
in
that's
his
what I was saying,
contract.
his running back incentives. That's what
Yeah,
pushes it
so
to that 73. It's like another 2 million in
mhm.
incentives, and it's based off of the yardage and touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, they're all fair. They're all fair. AJ Brown though, getting that 4 year 100 mil though. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he was the lone one that got traded. But shout out to all these guys, man, getting their money. As you see lately in the league, hence the wallpaper behind me, the Green Bay Packers. We said, nah, we ain't signing our a little older guy. We're gonna go young and cheap. So I mean, that's kind of like some of the new agenda for some of these teams. You know, why spend money when we can just go younger? But I think I'm with you, Keifer. I know you're with the same way. You see a guy on the field, you want to lock him in. You're not with the whole, oh, let's go take a chance at a rookie and see how it pans out. You know, like if I have a star receiver like that, like those four, I want to lock them in. So I shout out to all of them getting it done. You know, that was a big, off season topic that we've been discussing for months now. So they all stayed put other than AJ Brown, but they all got paid. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think all of it was fair. I do believe that AJ Brown should be number one, though. I ain't gonna lie. I do
really,
believe that AJ. I just think that he's just a little bit, just a niche better at receiver than the other ones. I just feel like his production has just shown you that the course of
yeah.
the year. But hey, all those guys, good for them. Let's move on to some training camp injuries. Obviously, we got training
Ouch.
camp back, and
Already.
and there's a lot of good that comes with that. But here's the guys. This is not going to include people that were hurt prior to training camp. But here's all the injuries we've had since training camp has started. And anybody with an asterisk is basically like they're not going to be out for the year. They're expected to be back by week 1. But Jordan Poyer was carted off the field with the elbow injury. Tim Patrick, he is going to be gone for the rest of the year. I'm not sure how
That
long, but
sucks.
Poyer is still MRI to be determined. But Tim Patrick out for the year. And then James Washington, fractured foot, 6 to 10 weeks. Van Jefferson is supposed to be out a few weeks, but to be TBD for week 1. And that's what a lot of people are saying. This is really opening up the window for OBJ. I don't really see why. I mean, they were already interested in OBJ over Van Jefferson, so no big deal there to me. Kyler Murray's got COVID. Same with Pete Carroll. We thought we beat
Prayers
COVID.
up.
Apparently not.
Prayers up,
But these
guys.
guys will be out for 5 days starting yesterday, I think. Micah Hyde, the other dynamic duo Bills safety,
Yeah.
also out with a hip and glute injury. So
Owie.
that sucks for him. Chase Claypool, shoulder injury. We know what happened with Ryan Jensen. He's going to be
Yeah, that
out for the
sucks.
year. Then Lucas Patrick, he had a little injury.
He
Taysom Hill,
That's
rib
the guy that
injury.
left the Packers. Lucas
Lucas
Patrick.
Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
was he good?
He was a rotational guy, so
Oh, okay. But then we'll close it out with Pat Freiermouth with the hamstring, Eric Armstead, knee injury, and then Joe Burrow had his appendix removed. He's not
ooh,
expected to play all preseason, but they do think he's going to be back before week 1. Now, like I said, that doesn't include the guys that were hurt before the season started. And there's just one guy that I've been saving this because I just want to ask you, what the hell, man? What is going on with David Bakhtiari? Okay. Now we've
dude.
heard all the stuff coming out of training camp. There's not putting a timetable on it. This guy missed all of last year. What do you get? A few snaps against the Lions before the postseason, and then he never played. What's going on here? You guys paid him a fat ass deal. What the hell happened, Max?
I I don't know anymore, man. I don't know anymore. I mean, we like you said, we paid him. We gave him all the freaking money that he deserved to get when he was playing football on a football field, and he can't even touch the grass anymore, man. It's frustrating. I mean, I wish him. I hope he's a speedy recovery because something's not right, man. Something's not right. Like you said last season, man. He came back. We saw him for a game, right? And then what the fuck happened after that? He was gone again.
Ghost.
And then, I mean, it sucks, man. It sucks because when he is healthy, we know how good he is. He's a freaking anchor on our offensive line. But man, I mean, this is getting frustrating at this point. If I'm like the front office, if I'm Rodgers, I'm getting a little frustrated at this point. You know what I'm saying? You can go to Milwaukee Bucks games and chug beers in the front row, do your big time flexing and on the jumbotron, but you can't step foot on the turf and play some football, I'm starting to get a little mad at you. But I hope you have a speedy recovery because we need you out
It
there,
doesn't sound
Bakhtiari.
like it. I mean, the way they're talking
Exactly.
about week 1, it does not sound like it. But I just
It's
had to get
getting
your opinion on that
ridiculous.
because when I saw that, I was like, dude, are you guys serious right now? What is going on over there? But listen, guys, I know it's been a long show. Okay, you know how it is with the QB rankings. All right, you got to really, really get into it. But one last
Yeah.
storyline before we close out the day. Okay, Marquise Brown was
Oh,
arrested
no.
for speeding, criminally speeding. Here's his mugshot right here.
Oh,
Okay?
God. He threw the mugshot up at him.
I had to. Marquise, buddy.
Oh, no.
Where the fuck you going that fast, pal? All right,
He looks
10
like
over. 10 over the speed limit. That's it. That's it. That's the cutoff, all right?
Yeah.
No more than that.
I mean, he
Hey.
looks sad. He looks a little sad in that mugshot, so maybe he didn't mean to. I mean, but come on.
I mean,
What are you
I just
doing?
don't understand. Like, where are you needing to get to in that much of a rush, man? Like, you're rich. They're gonna wait for you, pal. Okay, were you late to practice? Must have been late to practice or something. It had to be something like that.
Rushing to
But
film or
yeah,
something like that.
I don't know what you could be doing as an NFL player where it makes sense that you need to be going that fast to where it's a criminal arrest for speeding. Jesus.
How could you?
Listen, guys, that's the show for us today. Okay. Thank you for watching. Tune in for Hard Knocks. I think it comes out Tuesday. Dan the Man Campbell is going to be mic'd up the whole time. It's going to be great. Something you can't miss.
Wait, you said Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I think it's Tuesday.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, it's next week for sure. I think it's the 9th. I just don't remember exactly what day that's on. But also, we got the Hall of Fame game going on tomorrow. You already know my Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Baselli getting inducted into Hall of Fame, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to have pregame coverage right on this channel with me and our Jaguars pregame analyst that you guys have not met yet, Pedro.
Oh,
So
little
tune
secret,
in for
little
that.
secret guest, huh?
And I know that it's not going to be the starters. It's already been announced that Trevor's not going to be playing. ETN's not going to be playing. I think they announced Kirk's out too. But listen, it's not going to be any starters. Don't plan for that. But listen,
still football,
that doesn't
baby.
mean that we can't get some good quality football in, baby.
We're
So
gonna see
let's
some
enjoy
fun,
this. All right.
sound football, Keifer. Fun, sound
Exactly.
football.
That's exactly what I want to see. So listen, we'll get into all that on tomorrow on our pregame show. But as far as, do you got anything for the people, Max?
No, I don't. What's up, Chevy? Chevy's in here. He came on a little late, so he missed the list. But no, that's about it. He said stream Soto's debut. But no, man, I'm good, man. It's good to be back with you, brother. And I'm excited about, this upcoming season. Do you want to throw on the list one more time before we head out and we can kind of end it like that?
We can
Just
throw
for
it
Chevy.
on up here.
So if Chevy, you're still in here, here's our list. We can actually we'll let this ride for a little bit, but we are about to get the road. But Keifer, it's been great, man. It's good to see you. Good to be back with you, man. And guys, we will be doing a Sunday morning pre-show every single Sunday when the season does begin, the regular season begins. So I hope you guys, right now we're looking at 9:30 a.m. to about 11 a.m. each morning. We'll be breaking down each and every single game, giving you guys our favorite plays of the week, DraftKings wise, and you throw a little bit of Bovada in there, get a little parlay action. We're going to be bringing on some guests each week. It's going to be fun. So I hope I see all of you there. Thanks for everyone who's been tuning in throughout the show. We've had about like 15 people throughout the whole show. So thank you guys. Chevy says Mac 22nd. I'm out. Oh, come on, Chevy.
Screw Mac. All right. Screw Mac.
It's Chevy. Come on now. You know Mac Jones isn't higher than that, bro. Oh, I put him. Where did I put him? I put him 21. There you go, Chevy. Is that better? But we're gonna head out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next one. Peace.